For those of you who don't know, Big Sky B is a UK-based company. We're a satellite broadcaster, pay TV. We offer a really broad range of programming and channels, ranging from sports to movies to all the usual kind of factual operators and entertainment operators. And really what Sky 3D is a channel that launched back in October, and it seeks to take the best of pay TV and present it to our customers in 3D to allow them to watch in a way that they've never seen before. We launched in October. We started with coverage of the Ryder Cup, which was a live outside broadcast that went through the whole 4 days of the tournament because of the weather. Our schedule is made up mainly of, well, the largest single genre is sports. So we show Premier League soccer, we show rugby, we show I think 9 different sports in 9 different countries so far. We also show Hollywood movies, and then we also show entertainment programs, arts programs, live performances. So to give you an example, in the last month we've shown our 100th live 3D sports event. We showed the world's first live 3D opera. We have also been showing some big 3D movies. Tomorrow we will film a ballet. We recorded with Peter Gabriel about 10 days ago. So we're doing a range of what we think is pretty exciting things for our customers. And if you want to take the channel, you need to be a Sky customer, and you need to be on our top tier. So you need to take sport and movies from us, and then you get it as a free add-on to reward your loyalty. So that's kind of a very brief summary of what we do.
And it's provided through the existing set-top?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So through our existing platform, you do need to get a 3D TV to watch it, but we provide it to you free of charge.
Is there any sense of how many people are watching Sky 3D? Of course, it's not measurable in subscriber numbers per se.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, there is a sense. I mean, so in terms of the most recent numbers that we put out, so we launched in October. By December 31st in the UK, 140,000 3D TV sets have been sold, so it's a market in a very early stage of development. And we said at the end of January we were approaching 70,000 homes. So that's kind of where we are, about half of the UK market.
Thank you, John. Mark, tell us about 3Net.
Well, 3Net is a joint venture company with Sony Entertainment, IMAX, and Discovery Networks. We launched just this past February 13th, so we've just been on the air, 2 months. We will be an ad-supported network. We launched on DirecTV first, but we're looking for wider distribution throughout the U.S. It's a mix of documentaries, travel, lifestyle programming, eventually movies, concerts, a broad-based entertainment network, all in 3D. Even the commercials will be in 3D.
And Mark, of course, with those partners, or I've heard some people talk about the channel almost thinking of it as a factual channel, which is perhaps natural given Discovery is a partner, but my understanding is it's something much broader than that.
Well, yes, it'll be a much broader network. I mean, obviously Discovery is part of the DNA of the network, but so is Sony and IMAX, 2 great entertainment networks, businesses, and so we plan to be more than just factual based. We plan, like I said, concerts, and we even have, starting in October, we'll be airing Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball, so definitely not a documentary.
How many homes is 3Net in?
Well, the DirecTV is in about 18 million homes. So that's about 10% of the total U.S. market. I think we're figuring there's been about 1.5 million 3D TVs sold. So you can kind of do the math on that about our potential audience.
Interestingly, when we came down ahead of our first launch, we came down to MIP, and we it's quite the experience we're going through now is quite similar to what we had then, where there was a limited amount of programming available. There were a lot of people very enthusiastic about getting into the space. There were questions about the technology, about changes in filming technique. And I think nobody knew how big HD would be at that time. And what we have now, kind of 4 and a bit years on, is we've got 3 million customers paying us £10 a month to watch 50 channels. And I think that is way more than we expected to get to at that time. So it's, that was a pretty big thing. Now, will 3D do that? I don't know. But I think what is good is that there are very clear similarities in that the thing that has driven progress and innovation in TV has been better picture quality throughout and improved sound, and 3D can deliver on those things just in the way that silent movies, when they went to sound, black and white to colour, colour to analog, analog to digital, HD, and now 3D. So how big 3D is going to be, I honestly can't tell you. I don't think any of us can. But we at Sky are committed to it, we're excited by it, and we're in it for the long term.
Mark, do you think you were in a similar position to, had you been several years back, one of the first HD channels to roll out? And also, I wonder, is there a first mover advantage? Is it good to get there first?
Well, it's always good to be there first, you know. And one of the interesting statistics I heard was that in the first 5 years that HD was available in the U.S., they sold 500,000 sets. And last year, the first year that 3D sets were available, they sold 1 million sets. So I think that curve is going, there's going to be a curve, but it's going to be a lot steeper. And I think this year, almost every set that's manufactured that's 42 inches and above will be 3D capable. In other words, all you have to be is buy the transmitter and glasses. And as the price point comes down and the glasses become lighter, better, cheaper, I think people will be accepting the 3D technology even faster.
I mean, John, do you buy into the notion that there is a kind of a profile of the early 3D adopters, or is it perhaps more to do with the content you provide?
I think it's up to us as much as anything to define the opportunity. I mean, if you look at most new technologies, there's generally there's a subset of people who are gadget freaks who will be the first to get it, whatever it is, and quite often they're folks of my age and you know, those sorts of people. But I mean, we are making sure we put out family programming. So if if we were to just broadcast football, soccer, you know, chances are you would get a majority male audience. But that, you know, the reason why we are filming a version of Swan Lake tomorrow night in 3D is because we want to show that there is broader content available. So we're looking for a full family audience.
And I wonder, at this point in time, I wonder what the panel think are the key challenges, i.e. are they technical or do they relate more to access to content and perhaps getting the word out to consumers? Mark, do you think in the US do you think consumers are really getting the message when they go into stores and see 3D demonstrations, or could more be done?
Probably more could be done. You know, you're relying on a store clerk to sell the TV, and as much as you try to provide I'm sure the manufacturers try to provide the displays and the glasses and everything, it still comes down to consumers if they're not, you know, driven by external factors to come in and get the 3D sets, and they're relying on a salesperson. And a lot of the box stores don't have very aggressive salespeople anymore, like the old days. I think for us, the primary goal is to provide great content, and I think that great content will drive consumers to buy the television sets.
John, in the UK, I've been shopping and seen Sky stands,
yep.
In certain parts of London, and I presume all over. So you've kind of taken a very direct approach in terms of getting the message out there.
Yeah, we have. Well, I mean, we believe that the point that a customer sees 3D for the first time, or a potential customer sees 3D for the first time, is absolutely vital. 3D is one of those things where seeing is believing, and if you can somehow influence the fact that when people see 3D for the first time, they are seeing quality programming, because, as Mark says, that is the key. You know, if you show someone a bad TV program, it doesn't matter if it's HD or 3D or whatever D it is, they're not stupid, they're going to watch something else. And there is quite a lot of not great 3D out there. So one of the reasons why we've been quite proactive around demonstration is to ensure that there is content in the marketplace that we really want people to see. And actually, when they see it, the research shows that their reaction is off the chart positive.
I mean, is this about Sky owning the kind of the 3D space in the country, or are you happy for? Do you need other people to come to the party? Do you want more channels and services to launch, or is it really? Do you want to kind of stamp down parts of flag?
No, we're very clear about it, Stan, and we would like to grow an industry in the UK. We're very proud of the UK production sector. We work closely with lots of people in the UK, but also internationally. But we think there's a great opportunity to go out and grow an industry. And we're prepared to go out and invest, to back production companies, to work with manufacturers, to develop technology. So really the more the merrier.
I just wonder, for the pay TV operators, is it more about retaining subscribers, providing added value, or the perception of being, or actually being at the very cutting edge? John, tell us the Sky thinking.
Well, so as I said earlier, you know, to get the Sky 3D channel, it's a free add-on to our most valuable customers. So for us at the moment, it's really about rewarding those customers. You know, they choose to pay us a reasonably substantial part of their disposable income each month. And they don't have to do that. They can, you know, one phone call away from cancelling. So we need to give them reasons to stay with us. So we're doing that. We're also, innovation is absolutely in the DNA of Sky. We've always been at the heart of big technological innovations, and it's one of the reasons why people are attracted to us as a business. So 3D is important for us on that level. So those are really the ways that we're trying to grow.
Does there come a point in the future where it becomes a service you pay for in and of itself?
At the moment, we have no plans to introduce it.
And Mark, of course, a slightly different situation in that 3Net is, or will become advertising supported. When will we start to see advertising on the network?
Actually, pretty soon. As in the next couple of months, advertisers are extremely interested in advertising on 3Net, only because, like I said, it's appointment viewing. You have the family of the TV set. People are interested in seeing things in 3D, including the commercials. So, I mean, in the days of the current environment of DVRs, when people just run over the commercials any chance they get, where somebody that actually watched the commercials, they're really excited.
Is there, when your ad sales folks are out there speaking to potential customers, is there a sense that the advertisers are up to speed and ready to go, or I wonder what stage they're
Well, I think they're excited, and then the realization comes that it's now upon them, and I think they're quickly getting up to speed. And we'll probably talk about the training of producers and stuff that we've also talked about, sending advertising agencies through Sony's 3D Technology Center to get up to speed on the latest 3D processes.
And also with 3Net, I wonder, thinking about the partners, they're all inherently very international businesses. They've all got businesses all over the world. Might we see it launch outside of the US, do you think?
That I don't know about. That's kind of above my pay grade. So.
And how much 3Net content is acquired compared to the stuff you produce or co-produce?
Well, at this point, it's probably a bit heavier just because we started, but I think on the average going forward, we figure it's about 20% acquired and the rest either commissioned or co-produced.
John, there's a vibrant production community in the UK. Is there a sense that, as of today, there's enough coming out of the UK and internationally for your needs?
There's more and more coming out, but we would like more and more. You know, we want to, it's one of the reasons why we're here, is to talk to people who are at the cutting edge and are making this kind of programming. So, yes, there's more stuff coming through. I mean, interesting, I think on the session after us, there's two quite contrasting but very good British producers who've done some really great 3D shows. There's one, a company called Electric Sky, who've delivered, I think, already a couple of series to you guys. And there's another, Atlantic Productions, who've done some really high-end stuff for us. And both of them are taking a very entrepreneurial, creative approach to it. And are, you know, by all accounts, you know, working to a profit in a business that we can make sense of.
And to what extent is Sky having to help producers and help create this 3D market? And what I'm thinking of is the training initiative you did with Skill Set. Perhaps that would be interesting to talk about. What were the aims?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're very clear. What we need to do is provide an incentive for producers to make 3D programs, because it does require a lot of new skills. It requires a lot of new production kit, new workflows, new expertise, and a lot of those things are thin on the ground. So we're trying to give people the resources they need, and one of the ways we've tried to do that is through training. So we set up with Skill Set and BAFTA in the UK some training programs which we heavily subsidise to allow independent production companies to attend these courses, get really top-class training to enable them to go out and make great programs, because, you know, for us it's a kind of R&D expense, and it enables us to get better programs at the end of the day.
And effectively you're funding the production companies are, and that you're helping them to get up to speed.
Yeah.
How do producers get involved in that? Is it a selection process?
Well, normally they just go through, so effectively what we've done is we've helped with the course construct and we've signed a cheque, but we've left it for people like BAFTA and Skillset to actually craft the course, so it's really approaching through them to do it.
John, is there a sense that Sky would like to have 3D drama one-offs or series?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think it goes back to my point at the beginning when I was saying that we're at the start of the journey, and I do expect that journey to include some scripted 3D drama that we have originated, and we are looking at 1 or 2 projects at the moment which would most likely involve taking dramas that we would be making anyway for our general entertainment channel Sky One, and then turning those shows into 3D. But you know, it's kind of one step at a time, I guess, and you know, we've isolated sport and movies as the 2 genres that we need to really get sorted first. We've made some pretty big bets in factual programming, and that's starting to go really well. And I think, you know, drama is something we will certainly get to in time.
And the method of doing so will be to effectively supersize something that's already been commissioned.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of our main strategy, which is, you know, clearly what you've got to do is create something great for a viewer, okay? Because they will be the ultimate arbiter of whether a show works or not. And if you're making a really good show in high definition, then if there is a way to turn that into 3D, we think that is the route to go forward, because you've already created a brand, you've already cast it, you've already sunk the costs. To turn it into 3D is a relatively modest increment compared to starting from scratch. However, it presents real production challenges if you want to turn an HD show into 3D, particularly around scripted, because the filming rates are different, the editing rates are different, but we think it's all doable. So supersizing is something that we do believe in.
Mark, I would have thought, and perhaps wrongly, that reality programming was almost impossible in 3D, but then looking at some of the upcoming shows, or one particular, Bulletproof, that's kind of got reality elements, which I think is very interesting. Can you tell us about the show and how it was possible to make that?
Well, I think it's possible to make it because the technology is improving every second, and new, better equipment's coming out all the time. This was a series about they're called American bullfighters, and different from the Spanish counterparts, what they do is intercede between the bull and the cowboy that was riding the bull in American rodeo. It's kind of a bit of a dangerous occupation. It's a 4-part series on the Blue Ringwald Network, and we're really looking forward to it beginning in May.
Yeah, we're big believers that we have to get 3D into the national consciousness. We need to be creating programs that people, when they go to work the next day, say, "Did you watch that?" You know, just like they do with X Factor Final or whatever. So we're looking to get shows that really reach the national consciousness. And the 3D and the Royal Wedding is going to be a huge international TV event. And we thought it lent itself perfectly to 3D. And we had some pretty long conversations with the palace and the relevant kind of church authorities. But for one reason or another, it hasn't happened. And, you know, we respect that decision. Let's move on.
Is it true you staged a trial with it?
We did, yes. We, as part of the process of showing people exactly how it would work. And so we did. We recreated the wedding of the sister of one of the producers at Sky News. About 3 weeks after they got married, we got them all back together, and she got her dress out again, and she now probably has the most expensive wedding video in the history of wedding videos.
Did she say it was better in 3D?
Yeah, apparently it was. It was just like being there.
Mark, do you think in terms of event programming, obviously that often means big ticket sporting events, and then you get involved with sports rights and so forth. There are also sports networks, like ESPN in the States, who are doing stuff in 3D. So I wonder where that leaves you with regard to event programming. Can you create your own, perhaps?
Well, we probably will at some point, but yeah, sports programming, we're really looking for sport documentaries or non-competitive sporting content, because we are after all a cable network. We tend to like to play things more than once, and that's really the challenge in sports in 3D is
concerts and other
concerts will be a major part of the network, I believe, and so yeah, we've got a few projects in final stages of development to do some concerts.
John, in terms of obviously Sky is very well known for having lots of sports rights and producing sports content. Is there anything upcoming in 3D? We have a Rugby World Cup coming up. I'm not sure who's got the rights.
Yeah, we're not a rights holder on the Rugby World Cup, but I think that there are whispers that it may well happen, and we're a platform operator that enables channels to broadcast. So we'd love to see the Rugby World Cup, and further down the line the Olympics as well next summer is something that we'd love to see. The Olympic Broadcasting Authority really embrace that, because I think it's a great opportunity for the Olympics to kind of capture what when somebody comes to London, we're optimistic it's going to be a great event, and I think that it'd be great to capture that for the future and show the true kind of potential of 3D.
Could one event really drive uptake and consumer sentiment, do you think? Could something like the Olympics really take 3D?
Absolutely. And I think, because when you go back to, I think it was, I remember this, but I think it was when it was the coronation of Queen Elizabeth. It was at it was at the time when black and white TV was becoming colour, and it wasn't actually shown on colour TV, but it was shown in colour in cinemas, and it was a big event. And it's, if you're showing huge events that people are interested in a way that they have never seen before, then that is a great way to kind of persuade people that this is the future of entertainment. Yeah, we've got we've got some forecasts. Which I'm not going to tell you what they are, but no, we're confident that before the advent of glasses-free TV, we will be able to get Sky 3D into a significant number of homes in the UK. Would we like glasses-free TV? Yes, but we don't see it as such a huge hurdle at the moment. I think it's going back to what Ghislaine was saying, is that you need to provide great content to give people a reason to forget about the glasses, and when you do, they forget about it and they enjoy it. The first time we broadcast a live sports event in the UK was a soccer match between Arsenal and Manchester United, and we did it to a select number of pubs in London, and we invited a whole load of people along, and we gave them the glasses, and for the first minute they all kind of made silly faces at each other and pretended they were the Blues Brothers and all that kind of stuff. But then they quickly forgot about it and they started watching, and at half time they left their glasses on. That was when they got to the bar and stuff. So it they did forget.
They'd had a couple of drinks.
Yeah, they were singing 60 by that point, but yeah.
Now, given that we're at MIP, I'm sure there are producers in the room, and I'm sure they're thinking, what do these guys want in terms of acquiring programming? I think the message we were hearing earlier was very much quality is a given, but further to that, I wonder what's on everyone's shopping list, if you will. Mark, what are you looking for by way of content at the moment?
Well, we're still looking for programming that has a great story, great characters, has kind of tilts towards entertainment. There'll always be room for natural history and documentaries on the network, but it'll be much a broader based network than that. So we're looking for the next big ideas. We've had some people deliver some really interesting, unique ways of looking at stuff in 3D, and that's what we're asking producers to do now.
John, Sky, who handles acquisitions for the 3D channel? Is it done by the main acquisitions team? Is it you?
Yeah, that's absolutely. So in terms of the programming we're looking for, what we are looking for, it sounds silly, I guess the first rule of 3D for us is forget about the 3D. We want to know, is it a great story? Is it well cast? Are there good characters, storylines, those sorts of things? If the answer is yes, then it's about considering, can this be a great 3D program? And at that point, you have to do a lot of very kind of careful thinking about how you film it, how you edit it, all those sorts of things, and we will grill you on that. But we are looking for a broader range of programming. So what we're not looking for is sport or movies, because we're kind of okay there. But what we're looking for is factual programming, music, some kids programming, and we will either buy that direct through our acquisitions team, or if there are programs that you think wouldn't naturally sit on one of the Sky-owned channels, we'd encourage you to go and talk to your usual contacts at the likes of Discovery or National Geographic, History Channel, UK TV, about ways that you might be able to persuade them to fund the normal 2D side of the program, and then we'll talk to you about how we get that program under their branding onto our channel. So if you're a producer and you're interested in producing some 3D for Sky, we've got a new website that's launched, which is basically at www.sky.com/producing3D, which is all one word. and on there you will find a full technical specification of all the kit that we approve and crucially don't approve of, the contacts with the right people to go to in terms of commissioners, how the system works. So that's probably the best place to start if you want a kind of 20-minute tutorial.
And I need to add the Discovery's producer portal too. It's where you submit content for the Discovery channels. There's also a tab for 3D.
That's got the guidelines.
There's no guidelines there, but there's where if you have an idea for content.
Okay.